Welcome to the Drive-In Movie Podcast.
Now playing Avatar Fire and Ash.
If you're new here, this is the podcast where we go watch a brand new movie in theaters.
And then immediately go into our car, into our brand new studio car.
This is my brand new car. I got this on Thursday. Wednesday? I've had this for a couple days.
Yeah, it's our new studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go into the car, we film a podcast. There's no professional lighting, there's no professional equipment.
We're out in the wild.
Just a couple tripods and a couple mics from Amazon.
Right. If you can call them tripods. These are like single pod. There's like one arm on these things.
Yeah.
We don't even got a tripod. This is so bare bones. We can't even get a 3-leg stand.
Yeah, but with that being said, so if you hear anything, if something happens, if there's sirens or if people
it adds to the ambiance.
It adds to the experience.
And you know what? We're really understating how good we are at doing this at this point. I mean, honestly, this is like a top tier show here.
Yeah, this is pretty good. The potential. I mean, Think about it. You always after you see a movie, you want to talk about the movie with your friends in your car. Like 9 out of 10 times you're going to talk about the movie in your car.
And honestly, every time you and I go see a movie, because we've been doing this for years, and every time we would go see a movie, we would talk about the movie immediately after we saw it outside the theater. And then if we wanted to do a show about it after the fact, we'd already talked about everything.
Exactly.
So we figured, why don't we just start recording it immediately afterwards?
And it's been great. And now we're on our new schedule. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy release day. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, we're releasing this episode today.
Today.
Okay.
This is the rare time where we're releasing an episode the same day we filmed it.
Right. If you're watching this on Saturday, we were filming this morning.
Yes. So. Bang, bang. Well, what's first on our agenda? What are we talking about with the people?
Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about was this new car. But
there we go. We talked about it.
Yeah. The next thing that we should talk about actually is we saw Fire and Ash, and in front of it, they played the Doomsday trailer.
Yes, but before we talk about the Doomsday, I want to call out Cinemark for a second.
What?
Screw you, Cinemark.
Oh my God.
I was so excited before Avatar Fire and Ash because of the Odyssey trailer. You didn't play it.
But we already saw that.
We saw the prologue, but we didn't see the actual trailer. The trailer.
Why would they not play the trailer?
I don't know. And I went on the internet and everyone's like, oh, the Odyssey trailer was crazy. It was so good. And I was like, I want to see it.
Did they see it at AMC or was
I don't know. But Cinemark, why you do this to
Why
me?
Wouldn't they play the trailer at all the theaters?
I don't know. But they did play the Avengers Doomsday trailer.
Okay.
You had not seen the Avengers Doomsday trailer prior to that moment.
No.
And you had no idea what that teaser was.
No.
Which is incredible because this past week, this was probably one of the worst Marvel leak weeks of all time. I'm honestly going to put it, it's not as bad as the No Way Home Andrew Garfield leaks and the Tobey Maguire leaks, but it was pretty rough. Every big trailer Marvel had got leaked. So this first Doomsday trailer got leaked. The next Doomsday teaser got leaked. The audio fully leaked. The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer leaked. So many leaks. Marvel, what is going on? Kind of feels intentional in some ways. Well, actually, no. The Doomsday trailer was definitely not intentional. The Thor teaser was not intentional. I just spoiled something for you. I'm sorry. And then the Spider-Man Brand New Day teaser may have been intentional.
So you think that they're intentionally leaking some of this stuff to drive up the hype for it?
I think they intentionally leaked the Spider-Man Okay, here's the thing. The Spider-Man Brand New Day teaser leaked, and it literally looked like somebody filmed their computer screen with a Nintendo DS. It was the worst quality, and in 2025, that does not make sense. And the crazy thing is, that's exactly how No Way Home's trailer got leaked too. I was like, what are the odds that in the worst camera quality possible, in the exact same similar style, these two Spider-Man movies back to back had their teaser trailers leaked?
It's like a UFO sighting.
Yeah, it's
the grainiest picture.
Yeah, okay. It's crazy. It is insane. So yeah, it was just a crazy week. But Doomsday trailer.
I had no idea any of that was happening.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. You are not chronically on the internet like I am. I'm obsessed with scrolling.
I guess not. So, why do you think all this happens so close together? Do you think that it's the same mole for all of this stuff?
No, it's definitely not. The Doomsday teaser leaked because they send the teaser trailer to movie theaters to be quote unquote be locked until Avatar Fire and Ash comes out, because these teasers are exclusive to the movie theater. But of course, some movie theaters end up just being able to watch it, and so the employees are just filming it, and it goes out.
Okay.
So,
That's a shame. It's literally just some guy working at the movie theater.
yeah, and I think most likely yes.
So it could be like anyone in the country.
It could be anyone.
Not a very secure system. It
No.
seems like.
But I will say the point of the Avengers Doomsday teasers was to, I think, capture some type of like moment, just like we got in like Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, where it's like this big reveal in the theater, the crowd's like gasping, and people did gasp in our theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, people were vocal. And that to me made me feel really good that these leaks didn't ruin the experience for a good chunk of people, you included.
I did. I think I said something. I think I went, "What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest with you, I always think it's a little bit cheap when somebody, even though this didn't really happen to him, when somebody dies or something, and then they just bring them back. It's like, okay, so you want the emotional depth and impact of a character death, but then you don't want to have to deal with the repercussions or consequences of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's how Chris Evans leaving the MCU felt, was that it was like, hey, this character has completed his arc. He's done. His legacy will leave an impact, and we're just gonna have to move on without him. And they kind of went back. They always do this. I mean, they killed off everybody in Infinity War just to bring them back. They killed off Iron Man, and now RDJ's coming back. They got rid of Chris Evans. This is the second time Chris Evans is coming back in the MCU. I mean, it's kind of like I don't really trust them now I think that the villain for Secret Wars is going to be Thanos.
I mean, Thanos probably will be in Secret Wars.
That's what I mean. Nobody.
I don't think Chris Evans coming back is cheap, and I thought a lot about this over the past week.
It feels kind of like when they brought back the Emperor for Star Wars. It's like, okay, so you got your numbers were doing bad. You tried out these sequels. Nobody really seems invested. Let's just bring back the original bad guy because that's what people know and are comfortable with. And that's what they're doing with the MCU, where they're like, okay, people like RDJ and Chris Evans, with them gone, our numbers aren't as good. Let's just bring them back.
Okay, here's my argument, okay? Chris Evans coming back for Avengers Doomsday makes sense for a few reasons. Number one, what do you think the most requested project Marvel... What do you think was the most requested project of Marvel Studios since Avengers Endgame?
The Spider-Man? I don't know.
No. So many people wanted like a What If episode or a Disney Plus series of Chris Evans going back in time, returning the stones. So many people wanted that.
Okay.
Second, did Chris Evans die in Endgame?
No. And
what did he do in Endgame at the end?
He just went back in time.
No. But what did he do as old Steve Rogers?
Oh, he was just there as old Steve Rogers sitting on a bench.
And what did he do?
He gave the shield to...
He gave the shield to Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Why did he give the shield to Sam Wilson?
Because he didn't want to be Captain America anymore. Because he retired.
Is that the best answer you can have?
This is what I thought was happening. I don't know.
That's precisely why it's okay that Chris Evans is coming back, because you have to understand, if all this is happening in time, it's reasonable to believe that old version of Steve Rogers lived through the events of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And then now he has the choice of now we have the choice of him giving the shield to Sam Wilson, which means in Avengers Doomsday, Sam Wilson is Captain America. So he's probably going to understand, Steve Rogers is going to understand why one day he's going to have to pick Sam Wilson, because he's going to see Sam Wilson as Captain America leading the Avengers. I think it's going to justify the decision and only lift up
Hold on.
Sam Wilson's Captain America.
I'm confused on the timeline now.
Okay.
So Chris Evans is going to come back to the future as young Steve Rogers.
No. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work.
So, because how is he going to see Sam Wilson as Captain America if he's an old man now?
Because if Chris Evans is fighting
as young Chris Evans,
if that version of Steve Rogers is going to go
the same one we've been following the entire MCU.
Yes. So the young Steve Rogers that went back in time.
He went back in time. He's going to come back to the future to fight with the new Avengers, then go back in time again.
But we don't know where they're going to be fighting. To be fair,
when they're going to be fighting or where?
when or where we don't
Yeah.
know. We don't. I mean, we don't know. We do not know what plane they're going to be on. We don't know
Right.
where in the multiverse this is all going to.
Yeah,
take
we
place.
don't know which dimension the conflict is going to escalate in.
Right,
Yeah.
but the point is, if that is not a variant, if that is the same Steve Rogers, that
it seems like it.
it seems like it, then we can assume that the old version of Steve Rogers we see is that version.
Right.
Is the one that's about to go through the events of Doomsday and see Chorus. I'm not here to tell you like how that makes sense. That's not my job. That's the movie's job.
Okay.
I can only tell you what I can assume if that is the same character. And what I can assume right now is that we are going to see a justified reason for him picking Sam to be Captain America.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they already established a justified reason for him picking Sam too. I mean, it does kind of seem like that was Sam's arc.
Well,
with
Sam's
Steve Rogers.
arc was accepting that he's going to be Captain America, but no, they never established why Steve chose Sam.
But Steve and Sam had a good relationship and camaraderie for the entire Captain America series of movies. You know,
Sure.
like from as soon as they introduced Sam.
But why not pick Bucky, who is a super soldier?
Yeah, I guess, but Bucky kind of has Bucky has a really checkered past. Picking him as Captain America would be would
give him a chance of redemption.
He was the entire reason for Civil War, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, Steve Rogers was so for Bucky redeeming himself and proving himself and giving him a chance. Why didn't he give him a chance?
Does he need to be Captain America for that though?
Maybe not, but it's still there's still things.
I feel like Captain America needs to be a symbol, right? And he understands that because in the first Captain America movie, he was a symbol where he was going around, seeing all the troops, raising their morale, doing all that kind of stuff. I don't think that Bucky accomplishes that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think Steve kind of recognizes like, yeah, Captain America is a hero, but he also represents something.
I think also though,
and he doesn't need to be a super soldier.
I think also though, in the topic of like why I think it's okay to go back and explore Chris Evans in Avengers Endgame, RDJ specifically goes to Steve Rogers and says, when you mess with time tends to mess back. Clearly, Steve messed with time by going back, you know? Like, every single thing he did in the MCU timeline rules creates different branches. Creates something that wasn't supposed to be there, right?
This is something that confused me about Loki, too. And because was the sacred timeline, they were always supposed to go back and get the stones, stop Thanos, and then return the stones. Like, that was always in the sacred timeline.
I guess wasn't the sacred timeline revealed to be BS?
Yes, but then it's like, then what was going on for the entire TVA? If branches kept popping up, branches kept popping up and they kept pruning them, then how did they measure with? See, this is my problem with Loki and the time rules. Everyone's like, Loki is an amazing show, and it is a pretty good show, but the time rules make no sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. MCU timelines, the MCU time travel has never made sense. It's never been consistent. It's not consistent in Endgame. It's not consistent in Loki. And you know what? It's also not consistent in Eyes of Wakanda, which is like something that just came out. It's technically it's the first thing in the MCU timeline is Eyes of Wakanda. It's canon. And they have this whole thing where they literally go back in time, right? To steal an item to save like their future, right? And we've already established that that's not how the MCU works. So in reality, they wasted their time because you didn't stop your future from happening. It's not a ripple effect. So it's already another example where the time travel rules are not consistent in the MCU.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm also happy the Russo brothers are doing Doomsday and Endgame, and why I'm also okay with this Chris Evans storyline, because at least it's the same people who established that set of rules for the timeline, right?
Okay.
And they are, I think, bringing in like writers who worked on like Loki and other things to where they're trying to, I think, have a cohesive timeline agenda.
Do other people talk about the fact that the time rules are wonky in the MCU?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because for a long time, when Loki was coming out, all I heard was praise about it, and I felt like I was the only one saying to people, like, this doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you can go to an apocalypse where nothing counts, essentially. Like, there's no variance because the world's about to end anyway. But there's a sacred timeline. So if you go to Pompeii, if the girl variant of Loki, what was her name? Sylvie. If Sylvie ever went to Pompeii and then they went to Pompeii, would they find like her version there? Like, could they go to Pompeii and essentially find a past version of Sylvie there who was hiding out in Pompeii because that was on the sacred timeline? Or was she hiding out in a branch that then got pruned by Pompeii? Like, it was like, I was like, it almost felt like they were just going to places, not necessarily different times.
Yeah.
So it was like, there should be multiple versions of this variant of Sylvie running around.
Yeah.
According to the time rules, but it's not really time rules.
No. I mean, listen, that's my biggest thing for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars is I just hope it does kind of clean it up, but also I hope it kind of ends the whole multiverse saga for the MCU. I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to move on. I will say one last note of why I'm honestly very okay with Chris Evans being back in Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
You have RDJ back. You have Hugh Jackman, most likely. He's not confirmed, but like, you assume Hugh Jackman's going to be there, but you have the Fox X-Men. You have all these iconic characters, actors who portray these characters. It kind of would have felt sad if everybody except Chris Evans was back. Like, this is the one time we're ever going to have all these iconic performances. A lot of actors who, honestly, you could make an argument should have an Oscar of being perfectly cast for these roles.
Because we knew RDJ was going to be there already. So if it was like everyone, including RDJ, but not Chris Evans. But no Scarlett Johansson, huh?
For all we know.
Okay.
I mean, Black Widow is
Zoe Saldana. Actually, no, there is a variant of Gamora running around.
Yeah, like I'm sure they're all going to come back. I'm sure.
Bradley Cooper is Rocket, probably. I mean, is John Batista going to be Drax? I heard he was done.
I don't know. They might come back. I really don't know about the Guardians. The Guardians haven't really been talked about in any casting rumors. But it's kind of like how Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't going to be in Doomsday.
Okay.
You know? But he will be in Secret Wars.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's Doomsday, maybe not. But Secret Wars, I think everyone will be back.
It was kind of like how Ant-Man wasn't in Infinity War.
Yeah, and then that's actually exactly it. So the rumor is Spider-Man won't be in Avengers Doomsday, but is going to have a major role. In fact, probably be the lead of Secret Wars.
Because we know Tobey Maguire is going to be in Doomsday, right?
Officially know that Tobey Maguire is going to be in Doomsday.
Was that a leak?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it was kind of leaked that it's insider information that Tobey Maguire is the Spider-Man variant of Avengers Doomsday. There's no like talk of how big his role is going to be in the movie, but also everyone kind of put two and two together because Tobey Maguire was in London a lot during the filming of Doomsday. So it's like, okay. But we'll see. I mean, regardless, we're 1 year away from Avengers Doomsday. I actually have a question for you.
What's that?
Regarding this. What are you going to watch first? They release on the same day. Avengers Doomsday or Dune Part 3?
Well, honestly, I think we're going to see probably Doomsday first. Because you and I go and see movies together all the time. I'm almost never seeing a movie without you. And if they release on the same day, I bet that you're probably going to get us tickets for the Doomsday release.
Are you down to do both in the same day?
Yeah.
I want to experience Doomsday. I didn't really care about doing Barbenheimer the same Barbenheimer the same day or whatever. I kind of really care about doing Doomsday on the same day.
And they're both probably long-ass movies.
Yeah. It's probably 7 hours of our day.
Yeah.
I'm okay
That's
with.
like the whole day.
I'm totally fine with.
I
kind of want to do it.
I think we have to do it.
I think we have to do it.
Unfortunately, that is going to make one of them look worse than it should be. Because we're going to have no choice but to say this one was better than that one. We're watching both of them at the same time. We're going to have a direct comparison.
Yeah.
We're going to have no choice but to say I enjoyed this one better. I bet they're both going to be amazing movies. I mean, they're both like $100 million projects, multiple $100 million projects. So, you know, it's almost a shame that one of them is going to be kind of diminished by the other.
Yeah.
If we see both of them on the same day.
Yeah. But at the same time, we're supporting both of them.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? When you put wins. Yeah, when you put it that way, actually, we're doing our civic duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually.
Exactly. Doomsday is only a great thing for the movie theaters.
Okay. I do have one more thing I wanted to say about the whole timeline issue.
Go.
Okay. Real quick. I know that we've kind of we're beating a dead horse here. But if in the MCU, in the timeline, right? In the sacred timeline, or whatever it's called, if they are supposed to lose to Thanos, go back in time, get the stones, right? Go back to the future, then a different version of Thanos comes, because Thanos was killed, right? A different version of Thanos is made, and then comes, and then they kill him again, and then they bring the stones back to their original place, if that's all in the sacred timeline, I mean, like, how does the variant of Loki get made? Was that just an accident, like, on this one iteration of the timeline? It seems like there's a variant of Thanos that is always in play on this sacred timeline. It's a variant of Gamora as well, because Gamora dies, and now there is a variant of Gamora just running around on the quote unquote sacred timeline.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, that's why that concept doesn't really make sense to me, because I'm like, they did a multiverse thing before the TVA was even introduced, where there are 3 variants.
Okay.
Loki, Gamora, and Thanos.
Okay.
And they only care about the Loki.
So I think, there's one explanation I have for this in my brain.
Okay.
I don't really have an explanation for that answer, except for quite possibly on this main timeline, the sacred timeline or whatever, it is quite possible that, yes, characters can live from different points in time, right? That's clearly how the story goes. I think the difference, though, is when they start making things complicated, like having a baby. Because then that baby is born from 2 parents from 2 different time periods, technically, which could cause a branch that is truly unfathomable, which would explain Avengers Doomsday and could explain the plot of, Chris Evans, Captain Steve Rogers truly messing things up to a level of, okay, now the multiverse is somewhat collapsing. Because as right now, Steve Rogers is the only case we know of where somebody from a different time had a baby with someone else from a different time. And so that baby is technically born from someone from 2025, but conceived in 19 whatever. So this baby could be the reason of why the multiverse is kind of crashing. Doctor Doom might just be on a baby killing spree. He's trying to kidnap Franklin Richards for the power, and then he needs to take out Chris Evans, Steve Rogers' baby.
My issue with that is that Steve Rogers isn't a variant. This is the same Steve Rogers that we've been following the whole time.
Right. I didn't say he was a variant.
I know, but that's why I'm kind of like, if we're talking about pruning timelines and stuff like that, or like the time rules of people being born in different times. Yeah, but so are the variants. They're anomalies.
Maybe the answer is in Spider-Verse, Well, I can't remember the Spider-Verse explanation for anomaly, of like what issues happen with anomaly. Like Miles Morales wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And it's causing a ripple in the canon events or whatever.
Right.
Chris Evans, Steve Rogers' baby is an anomaly.
Not a canon event.
It's not supposed to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I need some explanation, and I know that we're getting really deep in the weeds on this one.
So let us know. Let us know if you're listening. Give us your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah,
we'd love to hear them.
All right. Moving on then, I guess. Because so you wanted to play a new game called Fake Fan?
Yes. Give me your iPad.
Okay.
All right, Michael. I am so sick and tired of you telling me how great Coraline is.
Okay.
I want to test your knowledge and see if you're a fake fan.
What?
Yeah. I want to test your knowledge, see if you're a fake fan, see if you're actually, if you even actually love Coraline.
I've watched this movie like at least once a year.
So you should be able to answer all these questions.
I've been very vocal about how much I love Coraline at every opportunity.
So here's the rule. If you get more than 3 questions wrong, so if you get less than a 70 on this quiz, because it's 10 questions.
It's 10 questions?
It's 10 questions.
I didn't study.
Good. You've watched Coraline every single year. You should know Coraline in and out.
Okay.
If you do not get more than 7 questions right, you are officially a fake fan of Coraline.
Dang.
It's high stakes.
That's harsh.
Well, listen, next time you can do this to me.
Okay.
But for right now, we're putting Coraline to the test. Okay, first question. What item does Coraline use to help protect herself while exploring the other world?
Oh, she has a little eyepiece made of little candies, dry candies, hard candies.
Do you know what it's called?
Like what? There's a specific name for it?
It seems like it.
I can't remember the name for it.
The Seeing Stone.
Okay.
It's a stone with a hole in it.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? I'm going to give that to you.
Okay.
You kind of describe
I know what it's made of. I know who made it. I know what it looks like.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. What are the names of Coraline's neighbors who perform in the circus?
It's the old lesbian couple. Oh my. I don't know.
I don't know if I should give you half points because I mean it is a female and a female.
Yeah.
But their names are Miss Spink and Miss Forcible.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
Ooh, okay. We'll see how this plays out.
Okay.
What game does the other mother force Coraline to play to rescue the trapped souls?
Hide and seek. Next.
A scavenger hunt.
What? She's hiding the pieces.
Which is a scavenger hunt. That's not hide and seek.
She has to go find the fucking pieces.
That's a scavenger hunt, not hide and seek.
I just said the wrong name for the game then.
High stakes, Michael. High stakes.
Okay.
You're kind of feeling a little bit sus right now. How many ghost children must Coraline help in order to escape the other mother?
3.
There you go.
Next.
What physical feature replaces the eyes of the other mother and the other father?
What physical features replaces?
Yeah.
What?
So like
they have buttons for eyes?
Yes, okay, they have buttons for
easy.
eyes. What object does Coraline throw into the well at the end of the movie?
The key to the door.
All right. What musical instrument does Mr. Bobinski claim to be trading his mice to perform with?
Trumpet?
Yes.
Okay.
What does the other mother transform into during the final confrontation?
A spider.
Yes. What detail about Willoughby is noticeably different in the other world compared to the real one?
He can't talk. His mouth is sewn shut. His eyes are buttons. I mean,
he can talk.
Oh well, I was talking about the other world.
Yeah. No,
You're getting too caught up on the
I
vocabulary.
will give it to
here.
you. Okay. Hide and seek for scavenger hunt, 2 completely different games.
Okay, whatever.
What symbolic item ultimately reveals the other mother's true intentions?
Wait, one more time.
What symbolic item ultimately reveals the other mother's true intentions?
Symbolic item. Her true intentions?
Yeah.
What? She wants to eat Coraline. I guess she's making food all the time. She has the buttons for eyes.
Yes. Okay, there you go. She has the buttons for eyes.
This is the second question about buttons.
Well, it was a deeper meaning. So the buttons represent loss of freedom and identity.
This isn't even trivia. You're literally asking me to analyze the themes and symbolism.
I think you know what, Michael. I think you barely scrapped by, but you are a true fan.
I am a true fan. You got caught
up. You started off a little bit rough, but then you went on.
I said the other world Wiley can't talk, and you said, "Well, my question phrased as." The real world Wiley can talk.
I didn't say you were wrong. I gave you credit.
Okay.
I gave you credit. But scavenger hunt is very different than hide and seek. It's a completely different game.
Okay, whatever. I'm a real fan. You guys saw it here first.
You just don't know some character names.
Okay. Speaking of a real fan, are you a fan yet of One Piece?
Okay. I felt so much FOMO about you getting to watch One Piece and the One Piece community and how great they've been to us that I have started One Piece.
Okay.
Even though the challenge did not make me watch One Piece.
Right.
I'm watching it on my own accord.
So you're not obligated to watch it.
I'm not obligated.
Quit at any time.
I can quit at any time, but I am giving it a shot.
I'm locked in.
The One Piece community that has joined our drive-in has been so great.
Right.
I liked the episodes I've seen so far. I don't love it yet.
Yeah, I think they're fine right now. Here's my issue, right? There's not a strong villain yet.
Right.
There's been pretty much a new villain. There's been a new villain in like every episode, and none of them are great. I mean, the first episode, there's a fat lady who gets, just punched a mile away. Axehand Morgan was pretty cool because he literally has an axe for a hand, and he's telling people to shoot themselves if they. Maybe I shouldn't say that. He's telling people to get rid of themselves if they're not following his orders. What's his name? Bozo? Not Bozo. Bugsy the clown is. I mean, he's a literal clown.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he has a strong motive right now.
Right.
We don't really know anything. I'm 6 episodes in, right? So admittedly, I'm not that deep in.
Yeah, we have not watched a lot so far.
Yeah,
and I think I want to propose a challenge.
Oh, another challenge?
So they're not really broken up by seasons. They're broken up by arcs, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many arcs are in. I should have prepared before this. What's the name of the current? Can you look up what the first arc name is of One Piece?
Sure.
Because I do think the community has been so great to us. We need to deliver in a timely manner, right?
What are the One Piece arcs?
Or what's the first one?
I'm just gonna see what it says here. One Piece arcs on the Wikipedia. The East Blue Saga.
Okay, the
Romance Dawn arc.
Okay,
maybe?
wait. We're in the East Blue Saga.
Okay.
So, Michael, we have to finish the East Blue Saga by February 1st. I think that's doable.
I think it's only 7 chapters.
Well, it's not more than 7. So maybe this isn't doable. We'll do more research. Let us know. Is it reasonable for us to finish the East Blue Saga by February 1st?
Okay.
But Michael, after we finish the saga,
uh-huh,
should I give you a test at the end, and if you don't pass the test, you have to
What is
rewatch
with
the
you
saga.
wanting to test me
I'm
all
just
the time?
asking.
You're
I'm
just giving
asking.
me tests all the time.
You can give me tests.
This guy wants to test me.
I'm asking.
What is this, Portal 2? What is this? Okay, GLaDOS, yeah, go ahead and test me. Jesus.
Okay. What do you think? High stakes? Low stakes?
So if I don't know enough about One Piece, I have to rewatch it. This is crazy.
Do you think you could do it?
Why not? Sure. if you don't get hung up on the vocabulary and pick,
I won't get-
and pick bogus questions.
Maybe we let the audience pick the questions.
Okay, sure. Yeah, submit some questions.
I don't
over
think
the
I would
East Blue
actually.
Saga?
I don't think I would actually make you rewatch it.
Okay.
But I just think the
They
stakes-
might. They want me to watch the series 10 times now. They want me to-
what you did say a follower an episode.
I know, but I haven't even watched the series once yet. Let me
I know.
watch it once and then say, okay, now give it a rewatch. They're commenting on everything that we're talking. We film these podcasts and then release the clips over time, and every clip that we release that's not about One Piece, they're like, "You're really doing this instead of watching One Piece."
I know.
And it's
Hey.
like, yeah,
Quick question about One Piece, actually.
Yeah.
Sub or dub?
sub.
Okay.
It's got to be sub.
I think everyone's disrespect towards dub is so uncalled for because voice actors are voice actors. They're still given a performance. Just because it may be different than sub doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different, right? It's different interpretations of a character. I think people are so mean about voice actors. They're like they act like dub should not exist. These voice actors should not exist, and that doesn't really sit right with me. So I'm watching dub out of spite.
I don't think that that's a very popular opinion.
I don't care.
I think you're gonna get eaten alive.
Let me be eaten alive. I'm enjoying the dub version so far, and you're enjoying the sub version.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay. Because you're not an anime guy.
No,
Do you? I mean,
I've never watched anime. This is the 6 episodes of One Piece is the most anime I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's pretty universally agreed on that for every anime, people generally prefer the sub to the dub, except for maybe Dragon Ball. For some reason, people like the Dragon Ball sub, and I think it's because the Japanese voice actor for Goku is like an old woman, so she's got a very like high raspy voice. And so for the original Dragon Ball series, it worked well because Goku was a kid, he was a boy. But then in Dragon Ball Z, when he's a man, I think people don't really associate her voice with Goku.
But I don't. So here's the, I'm not arguing that one's better than the other. Like I'm not disagreeing that sub is better than dub and sub is a better performance than dub. I'm disagreeing. I think it's unfair to the voice actors to immediately disregard dub.
I think it was written in Japanese. Like a lot of like the
lines
are written in Japanese. The voice acting's in Japanese. When they dub it, it's a lot of times they have to make some concessions to fit within the time frame too of the like they have to make the English line last about as long as the Japanese line did. And for some reason, a lot of the casting for English voice actors fall into one of two categories. It's either like a really deep voice or a really high-pitched voice. It's never, I don't know, something in the middle. So a lot of times you see, like there's memes about how if they voiced other American shows the way that they voice dubbed animes, that'd be ridiculous. Like there's people who are like voicing Breaking Bad like, Jesse, we gotta cook meth like right now, you know, because that's how they talk in the dubs. And it's like, okay, if you do that in any other type of show, it doesn't work, you know.
I guess I can see your point on that, but I'm still giving dub a chance. The Shoo Shoo episode still made me cry in dub,
Right.
so I think it could still.
I knew that episode when I was watching it because we watched them in separate rooms,
Right.
And then we kind of combined our reactions
Right.
into one video. And when I was watching the dog story, I knew that it was going to hit you hard because you care more about dogs than people.
Yeah, as you should.
Like, I remember watching something with you where the main character was surrounded by a pack of hungry wolves, and one of the wolves lunged at the main character, and the main character killed the wolf, and you went, "Aw." And I was like, that's a wild animal.
Doesn't matter.
Like, you would have preferred that
if they
that
have
wolf to
paws,
eat
if they have paws, I prefer them over people.
you were sad that the wolf died when the wolf was literally going to eat the human.
Yeah, it
You
sucks.
cared more about the wolves than the person.
The wolf is just doing what's biologically, in his brain.
So was the human was defending himself.
People are smart enough to know they can protect themselves without killing the animal.
The wolves were going to eat the main character.
Don't care.
And I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. You care more about dogs than people.
Yes.
Like in the same story in One Piece, Zoro was being crucified for defending a little girl and her family from death. A bunch of people were about to get shot up. You didn't care. And then Choo Choo comes, his owner dies, and you cry.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's normal. Dogs are better than people. Dogs are so much better than people.
That's why you love Zootopia, huh? You love animals.
There's no dog in Zootopia.
No, but you just like animals more than people.
Of course I love animals.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't love animals more than people. I just think dogs are better
Specifically
than people.
dogs.
Specifically dogs.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, really quick. Do you have any quick predictions of One Piece? 6 episodes in.
My prediction is that Bugsy is not going to be the main villain. We still haven't seen the main villain yet. My prediction is that Zoro is going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from 6 episodes in, I think they're going to go to the Grand Line. I think they're going to find the One Piece in like episode 1000. You know what I mean?
I don't think they found the One Piece yet. Otherwise, what's the point? I think Zoro eventually will eat a
devil fruit?
A devil fruit.
Okay.
A gun fruit, whatever it's called.
Luffy specifically ate the gum fruit.
The gum fruit.
Which
I think Zoro is going to eventually eat a fruit and become just truly OP. I think Zoro and Nami, Zoro and Nami are going to have a fling.
Oh.
I hate Nami, though. I do not like Nami in One Piece. She drives me nuts.
I don't think that there's a ton of flings in anime. Like, a lot of times there's
no love story?
There's tension, but like, especially in shonen, like in Naruto, there's like a lot of tension for a long time, but nobody really gets together until like a time jump, apparently. I've never seen Boruto, but it's like the entire Naruto and Naruto Shippuden timeline, like Sakura is thirsting after Sasuke and Hinata's thirsting after Naruto, and then there's like a time jump, and then both of those couples get married in that time jump, apparently, and then in Boruto they start off married and with kids and stuff. But there's not, like, in these shonens and these fighting animes, there's not really romance a lot of the times. There's just tension.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah.
I think One Piece needs a love story then.
Okay.
One love.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see if Zoro and Nami get together.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
I wanted to talk about, because when I was watching these 6 episodes of One Piece, I noticed that I was like, I really need a strong villain. I wanted to talk about what you think your top villains are.
Okay.
I think in order for a project to be really great, it needs a really good villain.
Yeah.
You need someone for the hero to fight against. And so I want to list our top 5 villains.
All right, let's do it. Do you have how do you want to do it?
Should we go 5, 5, 4, 4? Like, you just count up to number 1?
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if I have them 5 through 1 in order. I think I just have like 5 villains.
So you just want to give 5?
Yeah, I guess let's just give 5 and then let's let our audience decide.
Okay. For me, my top 5 villains in no particular order are Thanos. And I know that's probably going to be in your top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Darth Vader. Okay. Zuko. All right.
That's from Avatar?
Yes.
That's a terrible choice.
I think he actually is a great choice.
That's a terrible villain. No.
He was the villain in season 1.
Okay, in one season?
And then, but he has the greatest redemption arc in television history.
He has the greatest redemption arc in television history. Therefore, he's not a villain.
No, you just love him so much that you forget that he was a villain.
Okay, no, you don't forget that he was a villain. He's just not a villain at the end of the day.
But he was a villain.
No!
One of the best villains of all time, because he becomes a hero.
No, that's bad take.
Would you disagree that he was the villain of season 1?
No.
You wouldn't disagree. So he was a villain
in season 1. But when I think greatest villains of all time, I'm thinking overarching story. Like, you can't just be a villain for 20 episodes.
And Zuko has one of the best overarching stories.
Zuko has one of the best arcs. Yes. But he's not a villain.
But he was.
No, this is a terrible... Oh, no. This is a terrible take.
He's one of the best villains because of all that character development, dude.
No, so he's one of the best developing characters, but he's not one of the best villains of all time. No one in their right mind has ever said Zuko is in the top 5 of greatest villains of all time. You are the first and only person to ever say this.
I think if a villain is, like, cartoonishly evil, that's not a good villain.
He's not... No!
So would you say Darth Vader is a villain?
Yes, but Darth Vader is good for 0.5% of the time. But he's Darth Vader.
He was the chosen one.
That's great, but for the majority of the time, he is one of the main villains. Zuko isn't even the main villain the majority of the show.
Darth Vader brought balance to the Force, dude.
Okay, but he was the villain the 90% of it.
If you zoom out, he's the hero.
That's great, yes. But Anakin was the villain in Revenge of the Sith. Darth Vader was the villain. He was a villain in 4 out of the 6 projects.
Okay, so at this point,
the majority of it.
It's literally not a matter of if you can't. Your argument is not you can't start off a villain and then become a hero.
No,
and that
my
makes you not a villain.
argument.
It's about the percentage of screen time. Is your argument?
Yeah, my argument is you have to be the villain the majority, not the percentage of screen time.
Not necessarily what their arc is. Not necessarily like if you zoom out on the story where they end up versus where they started. You're saying you can start off a villain and end up a hero. And you can still be classified as a villain.
Here's my argument. Darth Vader is not Anakin. Anakin and Darth Vader are 2 different personalities. At the end of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader is not the one who decides to save Luke and kill Palpatine. Anakin is the one who decides to kill Palpatine and save Luke Skywalker, his son. Darth Vader has no son. Yeah. They're different personalities.
But you also said that Anakin was the villain in Star Wars Episode 3.
Yes, he makes villainous choices, but once he pledges to the Emperor, he pledges as Darth Vader. Rise Darth Vader, not rise Anakin Skywalker.
But he killed Mace Windu as Anakin.
No. Yeah, okay, fine. He bodied Mace Windu as Anakin, but for the Darth Vader from beginning to end is a villain.
So you're saying that villains can do heroic things and heroes can do villainous things. There's a gray line there.
But they cannot.
There's a gray area.
Okay, yes, but no, the gray area is not, for 1 season out of 3 seasons, he's a villain, but for 2 out of 3 seasons, he's a hero. That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Season 2.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
You're spitting a lot, bro.
I'm passionate.
In season 2, there's a whole transition period. There's a whole transition period in season 2.
That's terrible.
So honestly, it might be more 50-50.
That is terrible. Zuko should not be classified at the end of the day as a villain. I wouldn't even put him in the villain category.
I think he became a hero, but because he started off evil, I think you can put him in the top 3 for best villains of all time. Because you grow to love him so much, like I really think there's an argument to be made there.
That's a terrible take.
There's other characters who have also made similar transitions, or you can go from hero to villain.
This is god awful.
Do you think that you can't go from hero to villain?
No, I think you can go from hero to villain. I'm just saying you can't make that type of journey. You can't go from villain to hero and be considered one of the greatest villains of all time. The greatest villains of all time are villains. They do not have any redemption arc. They are villains. When you see them on screen, no matter what, you are scared of them. You know they're not going to do any good. You are scared of them.
I think that's like just
when Darth Vader is used in Rogue One, there's no ounce of hope. You forget that that's Anakin Skywalker. He's going to save the galaxy. You're just terrified of what he's going to do in that hallway.
I think villains are actually better when there is some moral gray area. Like in we'll get into this, I guess.
Not majority of their arc.
We'll get into this a little later, but in like Avatar, with Quaritch
is not even remotely in the conversation for one of the top villains of all time. He's not even in the top 10.
No, but I do like the moments when they stop fighting and they recognize their similarities.
Of course, I like those moments too. That's some of my favorite parts of their relationship. I love that part of Avatar Fire and Ash. But if we're talking top 5 greatest villains of all time, that aspect goes through the window.
I don't know.
What are your next 2? This is crazy.
I don't even remember anymore. Let me think.
You gave Thanos, you gave Darth Vader, you gave freaking Zuko.
Okay, well then you gotta throw in Heath Ledger's Joker in there. And I think Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Gus is a good one.
I think those are my top 5. But even Gus, there's moments where he's heroic. I mean, he had like his best friend who was killed by the cartel, and then he goes and wipes out the entire cartel. I mean, that's an
act of revenge.
Yeah, but also avenge. I like to think about it as avenging, not revenge, because in my mind, he's like, I'm doing this for my friend who died. And I think there's a huge difference. And if you disagree, then why are they called the Avengers? Why are the heroes called the Avengers?
They're not the Avengers.
Right. So it's like, in my mind, I kind of think of Gus Fring in that same area where I'm like, the things he's doing, like they have a point, and like they're calculated, and he's not driven necessarily just by evil intentions, you know?
Crazy. Okay.
I like my villains with a little bit of, you know, ambiguity. And I think Zuko is a great example of someone who captures both sides really well.
Okay, greatest villains for me, I do think... I think Thanos is in the conversation. Although Thanos is kind of tough. Thanos doesn't necessarily... He's the villain of the story. He doesn't necessarily see himself... I guess from perspective, maybe they don't all see themselves as villains.
They have to not. For it to be a great villain, you have to not see yourself as a villain, I think.
Thanos is there. I would put Darth Vader in the conversation. I think Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter deserves to be in that conversation. I think... No, listen. Lord Voldemort is truly terrifying.
No, he's an example of someone who's just like evil for evil's sake. Like what?
No, he thinks what he's doing is good. He thinks Muggles shouldn't exist. He thinks he does have that.
That's straight up evil. Where he's like, I want to kill a bunch of these people because I don't like them. That's not morally ambiguous. That is straight up.
Thanos killed half the universe because he thought it was the right thing to do.
No, but he wanted the other half to live a better life. He wanted.
So he thought Lord Voldemort thought Muggles kept wizards from living a better life.
No, but he wanted
a better life for wizards, and to do that he had to be pure blood in his opinion.
You need to stop right now because Voldemort wanted genocide. You can't defend
Thanos took out half the universe. I literally just ripped ass. I'm so upset with this argument.
But it was random. But he made it very specific that he was like, I'm killing half the universe randomly, not out of spite, not out of hate, not to get rid of a certain type of people.
What was the Joker's reasoning?
He thought society was corrupt and bad and wanted to tear it down.
Okay. Shoot.
He thought the systems were keeping people down. He thought money and government and stuff were chains. And he was like, people should be free. People should be able to go blow up a car if they want. They should be able to fire a bazooka off the side of a truck. And you know what? He kind of had a point. It was pretty sick.
I think
if Batman gets to, ride around on the Batmobile, no license for that shit, then why can't the Joker shoot a bazooka?
Fair point, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, I'm still sticking with Lord Voldemort. So I have Lord Voldemort, Thanos, Darth Vader. I'm torn. I kind of want to put, I don't know. I kind of want to put Death from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
That's a good one.
I think that's a good one. Yeah. My last spot, I don't know.
You really did rip ass, bro.
I did. I was you flustered the heck out of me. Yeah. That was crazy.
If you didn't say it, I would have kept that under wraps, but since you said it.
I was so flustered, man. Good thing this isn't a 4D podcast.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know who my fifth one could be.
Okay.
I'm kind of out of...
Do any of the ones that I said, resonate with you at all?
I'll put the Joker in there.
Okay.
Because I do think the Joker...
Heath Ledger's got to go in the conversation. People love it. Like, people talk about his performance as one of the best of all time.
Yeah,
sure. He won an Oscar for it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, you also wanted to talk about... Speaking of top villains, I thought Avatar Fire and Ash did have good villains.
Yes.
I don't think that they're they go in the conversation as greatest of all time, but I do think that they had good villains. Austin Butler's performance in Dune Part 2.
That was very good.
I don't know if he's one of the best villains, but I do think that his performance was
very good.
Award worthy.
Yeah.
But this movie had some good villains. You want to talk about the motion capture?
Yeah,
in Avatar
just
Fire
really
and Ash.
quickly, just in general, I think motion capture performances deserve to be recognized more because it truly is difficult. Like everything you see happening in Avatar Fire and Ash, everything in the water sequences, those are all the actors are actually doing those things.
Yeah.
Like, they're really doing it. All the expressions that the avatars makes, the emotion, body movements, they're doing it.
They're really jumping out of the water on the fins of whales like they're doing in the movie, Shamu style.
No, do you know what they did in Avatar though for those moments when they're riding the little fish things?
No, what'd they do?
They have these jetpack things that actually jump up 30 feet in the air in the water and then go down. And then on top of that, to mimic the animal there's a person riding it already. So these actors are, granted, those are probably stuntmen doing those specific moments, but these people are riding a different person who's actually riding the jetpack. Dude, it is crazy. They're actually jumping up 30 feet in the air. There's a document. If you appreciate the Avatar movies, you have to watch Avatar Fire and Water on Disney+. You have to see when you watch that documentary, it will change your perspective on these movies completely. And the amount of work, I am hell bent on the fact that Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana.
You gotta put that accent on the end.
Sam Worthington, the kids, they deserve Academy Award nominations for these movies. They're never gonna get them. What? They deserve them.
I think that eventually motion cap acting will be included in the Oscars in the same way that they added the stunt category.
Yeah.
I think people will start to recognize it. It's just a new field, honestly. Not really like brand new, but in the scheme of the industry, it's a new field. And so I think that maybe with a little bit more time, that'll start to get more recognized.
It's just crazy because like Avatar proves that it should be recognized, but Andy Serkis himself has proven. Andy Serkis has some of the greatest performances in cinema history. Gollum, Caesar, greatest performances in cinema history, never been nominated for an Oscar.
Caesar is my king.
It is sickening that man's never been nominated.
A lot of the times when the humans are the villains, I have a hard time relating to the other side. Like in the first Planet of the Apes movie, in the new version, right?
Yeah.
With Andy Serkis, I had a hard time seeing the villains, the humans as the villains. But by the third movie, I was like, dang. These chimpanzees need to kill these humans, dude.
Yeah.
Like these guys are bad, bro. And so when you can successfully pull that off, when you can make me feel more for a chimpanzee than a human, like you've done a great job. And so Andy Serkis as Caesar and like that whole motion cap industry.
He's one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, in my opinion.
I think the Planet of the Apes trilogy really made me put Matt Reeves as a director in the top tier category. You know, he's competing for me with Tarantino, Scorsese, Nolan, like the big names.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree. I want to make a statement real quick.
Okay.
I think Avatar, the trilogy, is the greatest motion capture trilogy of all time. But it is not a better trilogy than the Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Yeah.
Because the Planet of the Apes trilogy are better as movies, but performance-wise, I think the Avatar, nothing tops it. Just the way it was made and the way they did everything, I don't think anything can top Avatar. So it's not a question of which is a better trilogy. I just think for motion capture sake, nothing's better than Avatar.
Yeah. I'd agree with you because also it's like each movie's like 3 hours of straight motion capture.
Yeah.
And it's always beautiful, gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
There's never a scene where they're like, okay, like in anime, as we were talking earlier, what they'll do is they'll make non-fighting scenes look worse to save money so they can spend that budget on the fighting scenes and make them look amazing. And they kind of talk about it in Invincible too, if you remember.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that one scene that gets memed a lot because Oliver's hair does like some crazy little thing.
Yeah.
And like the frame rates are insanely high. And they're like, why doesn't the rest of the show look like that? You know? And it's because they're saving money so that they can waste it all on Oliver's little bang flip right there. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, but Avatar doesn't do that.
No.
They really don't cut corners on any scene. And so I think you're right. I think it is the best motion cap trilogy of all time. It might honestly just be the best CGI movie or trilogy of all time.
It is. I think it is. With that being said now, Avatar Fire and Ash. How many Michaels are you giving Avatar Fire and Ash?
I think I'm giving it 8 Michaels.
Nice. I've seen the movie twice.
Yeah.
I am sticking at 8 Michaels.
Okay. You said it might be 9.
After rewatch it went down to 8.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought I was going to give it 9 for the entire movie, except spoiler, I guess. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, listen, we release these episodes after at least a good amount of the public have seen it, so we are going to talk spoilers. So.
Right. And that's also why we saved the movie for the end of the episode.
Spoilers for Avatar Fire and Ash.
I thought the ending was too similar to the second movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
I thought I was going to give it a 9, but then for the ending, I was like, I feel like I've seen a lot of this before, and that's bringing me down for as far as points go.
Upon rewatch, because I watched Avatar Fire and Ash the first time, and I thought, man, there's a lot of things that were repetitive. Upon rewatch, one of the things I was focusing on was, okay, how many times do I feel like this is the same movie as Way of the Water? Yeah. I actually felt it was less repetitive on rewatch. I think it actually does. I do think the movies are different. Like, I don't think it's fair to say this is just Avatar Way of Water 2.0. I think a lot of things similar happen at the end of the movie, which do stand out. But I think for the most part, Avatar Fire and Ash does stand on its own.
Yeah.
But the problem is the moments that it is repetitive is bad.
Yeah. I really only thought like the last 45 minutes, I guess, were repetitive. And for a 3-hour movie, that's a third or so of the movie. So, I mean, the entire sequence of them running around in the jungle is not very repetitive.
No.
The entire aspect of a Na'vi villain is not repetitive. Jake getting captured and, in a human prison cell on display and
Not
getting
repetitive.
rescued by Nateria, not repetitive. But then when they go back to the reef and fight on the water with the boats for the whales during the eclipse, and the children get taken hostage, and, there's the whole fight scene between Corch and Sully. We've seen all that before. Oh, and Spider, and they both care about Spider,
I think, but that's the thing. Actually, I thought that was different enough in Fire and Ash because they both cared about Spider. It was the one thing that really helped Jake and Courage see eye to eye.
Uh-huh.
It was the one thing that really developed Courage as a character and put him on a path of redemption. The thing I don't like is that he opted out and,
Yeah.
quote unquote ended it for himself or
We
whatever.
don't see the body, though.
You don't see the body. So
I choose to believe he's not dead yet.
right, but that's my problem. It's like it's like, okay, it's too much. Courage is it's too much of a factor. He should have joined. I made a video back in July, right? Like way back in May or July about Courage. And I said, in Avatar Fire and Ash, Courage is going to have a redemption arc. Spider is going to be the reason why he redeems himself. He's going to be the reason why he goes to the good side. And I thought a lot of Fire and Ash was going to be him trying to earn the trust of Jake Sully and his family. I thought that's what Fire and Ash was going to be, and that's what I wanted it to be. And for a good chunk of it, I thought I was right. Because as soon as Courage and Jake Sully meets, Courage abandons all of his objectives, abandons everything he's like been built and trained to be to help Jake save his son. And they have these moments where I was like, okay, this is what Courage is going to fight alongside Jake Sully. And that was going to be so refreshing. And then it just never happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was fine with Courage finding his answer, finding his redemption through his relationship with Varang. I was fine with that. I was like, this is good. I kind of like this because this actually kind of matches the character. But it's that choice at the end that I was like, I just don't appreciate this.
I think we need I don't think it stands alone as a trilogy. I think it needs another movie to finalize Corch's arc and to give us some more solid conclusions, because we really don't know like what's going on. Like, did the general lady die?
No, she didn't. Varang never. Oh, the general lady. Yes, the general
Okay.
died. I think so. Here's the problem. Avatar 4
Yeah.
is going to be a time jump.
See,
There's going to be a story. So I think Courage, whatever redemption arc he has, if he survived, that means at least 6 to 8 years, 6 to 10 years, he's off living in Pandora, getting the answers for himself, and we're never going to see that.
we need to see more of Corch. We need to see what happens to Meringue. We need to see what's going on with the humans, because at least at the end of Avatar 1, they packed up all the humans on a ship and sent them home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't really... if this was supposed to be a standalone trilogy, I don't feel like this movie has a solid conclusion.
I don't think so
You know?
either. And I think James Cameron has also mentioned that he wants Avatar to eventually get back to Earth. So
Okay.
I think Avatar 5 would actually show you the differences of Earth and Pandora, which is actually interesting, but I don't
That
think
is interesting.
I don't think there's a path that's ever going to conclude this story. And James Cameron has even said himself, Avatar 4 and 5 would be separated. Like, story-wise, this is the conclusion of this story. Avatar is one thing. Avatar Way of Water, Fire and Ash are another story. Like, they're different sagas.
Okay.
So it feels undecided. It feels inconclusive. I think it's always going to feel inconclusive.
That sucks. I really wanted
It
to
does
see.
suck.
I really wanted to see Corch, because they were making such good headway.
Yeah.
Where Corch started really accepting, embracing his Na'vi side, and he and Jake saw eye to eye several times through the course of this movie. Jake's pleading with him, please open your eyes to this world, that kind of thing. He never really picks a side. He never goes full human or full Na'vi.
But that's the thing though. He does pick a side. He does go full Na'vi. You see him transition into being one of the Ash clan. And again, that would have been a perfectly acceptable choice. If at the end of the movie, Corch went off to be in a different clan, his own clan,
Yeah.
that would have been a great ending for him. I would have been totally okay with that. It would have made sense. Jake Sully and Corch never need to be part of the same clan.
Yeah.
That would probably never work. That ending made sense. And you know what? Now we're left to assume that if he does survive, he will go off and be with that clan.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But we're never going to see that moment, and that sucks.
So we agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do agree.
That I wanted to see Corge like solidly, conclusively pick a side, but instead we're left to imply.
Yes.
Okay, he was on this path, and if he survives, he's going to end up there.
But I do think he did symbolically pick a side.
Yeah. I definitely feel like he's an interesting character and a cool villain, and so is Meringue. Don't think they're some of the greatest villains, since we were talking about that earlier this episode.
I think Meringue started at like at a 10 out of 10, and then she kind of went. I think she was too submissive to Courage.
And you see what a man does to a woman. Ladies, stay independent.
Yeah, but she really did lose her kind of like fire, ironically. And I did feel like,
hey, keep your head up, queens. Keep your crown on.
I did feel like her final, it kind of felt like we were setting up a really epic battle of Neytiri versus Meringue.
Oh yeah.
That would have been so much cooler than Courage versus Sully for a fourth time.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. As a movie though, visually, I think it's the strongest out of all three Avatar movies.
Which is saying a lot.
And I think
the other ones were great.
I think emotionally there are so many great emotional beats throughout the entire film.
Me too.
Did you cry when he was deciding to kill Spider or not?
Didn't cry,
I
but
cried.
I definitely really liked the depth of that scene. It felt biblical. Like it felt like when and I'm sorry, I don't remember a lot of the names.
I got
during the Bible, and I'm not
Bible. Maybe I don't got you.
It felt biblical, and not saying I'm religious or not religious or whatever. I'm not saying anything's whatever true or not. But there's like a story where Abraham brings his son up to a mountain to like sacrifice him, and then God's like, actually don't do that. I was testing your faith. It kind of felt like that with like Awa and Spider and Jake Sully, where it's like, hey, like you kind of have to kill this kid even though you love him. And then like at the last minute they're like, actually you don't.
Yeah.
That it's I'm glad that you cared enough to do it, but you don't actually have to do it. So it's like Grace's clone, what's her name? Kiri. Like Kiri is literally like Awa's child, like like Jesus, like literally like there's like some biblical symbolism here almost. It feels like maybe not like symbolism because I don't think it's preachy, but I do think that they're like taking story elements from there where it's like, hey, this is the Na'vi incarnation of the goddess, basically. This is her daughter in Na'vi form. So it's like I thought that was kind of cool how there was like a lot of like really deep story themes, if themes is the right word.
Do we think?
And I know I'm kind of treading a line here because of the nature of those stories, but
I think it's okay.
I wonder if James Cameron was going for that.
He might have been. Do you think it's possible in Avatar 4 we could see a different? Because we obviously know that the Sully children are hybrids.
Yeah.
Do you think in Avatar 4 we could see a version of that with Kiri and Spider's children?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Do you think we can see like 9 feet tall like people or 10 feet tall people?
I totally think that because
half blue, half human.
He's also got the ponytail now.
Yeah, it is possible that they can mate. And listen, it was just a kiss, but as spiritual as Kiri is, the Na'vi believe in mating for life. So it feels like she's not just gonna kiss anybody.
Yeah.
So I think in Avatar 4 it's quite possible that Spider has children with Kiri.
I will be honest, their relationship makes me a little bit uncomfortable because it is a little bit like stepsister, stepbro situation. Like they're both part of the Sully clan.
A little bit.
So it is. I'm kind of like, how. But like, what I'm saying.
But also though, like neither of them are even Sullys too. Like they're part of the Sully family, but neither of them are Sullys.
Yeah, it's still uncomfortable. That's
a little uncomfortable.
That's the rationale where it's like we're family, but we're not blood related. And I'm still like, dude, like
they're both like they're basically second cousins on opposite sides of the family, deciding to be one.
That's still not good, like that's so. Yeah. Whatever. Props to them. I'm glad. Whatever makes you happy, sure. But I mean, like, I don't love the aspect of the fact that they say that they're one family.
2 worlds, one family.
Whatever. But all in all, I still loved the movie.
Yeah,
I love an Avatar movie.
I think Avatar movies are such great spectacles.
Yeah. I think people have been hating on them kind of recently, though.
I think people forget how great of an experience they are if you give yourself to the story.
Yeah.
But I think this weekend people will remember like how good it is.
All right. Let us know what you thought of this movie, guys.
And also, be sure to follow us on all social medias.
Yeah.
At the Drive-In Movie Pod. We're on Twitter now.
Yeah,
On
at
X.
Drive-In Movie Pod.
At Drive-In Movie
Not
Pod
at
on Twitter.
yeah.
But you'll
Twitter
find
handle
us.
a little different. We might have some news coming out as far as how we're going to be watching the One Piece series. We're trying to figure out the technicalities of this stuff, so watch this space.
Yeah, watch the space.
Okay.
Watch the space.
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, be sure to follow, rate 5 stars, leave a review or comments. No way, bro.
Yeah, way. I don't know when it stopped. Well, we'll continue on this right here.
Okay, one of our cameras apparently has not been working.
That's wild.
Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, leave a comment.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
Fuck!